Hello and welcome everybody. This is Yan Man bringing you another Fleet Ops audio commentary. Today we have hopefully an exciting 2v2. The teams today are Charybde and Abraxas versus Dexter and Sutee. Let's take a look at where folks are lining up. This is actually going to be a left versus right today. So starting off in the top left team as the white Borg, this is Charybde. And you can see he's doing pretty much the standard Borg thing. His teammate for today, also a Borg player, as the light green Borg, this here is Abraxas. So, shooting over here to the right-hand side of the board, we can see as the red Klingons, this is Dexter, and he is getting out his Martok Klingons getting ready. Now down here, as his ally, sporting the white Federation jersey, this is Sutee. Now we're taking a look, see Sutee doing the normal Starfleet engineering. He's going to very likely go into a Monsoon Intrepid combo or one or the other. Klingons Martok. They look to be pumping out Quebecs. Now this could be a Katinga rush. Let's see if he's he hasn't queued up for it. Doesn't mean he's not going to do it. Otherwise, he could be going a solid base strat. Nothing too fancy here. Maybe move up here, expand fast is what it looks like he's doing. Go into a battle yard. I actually think that's what he's going to do here. Let's see if Dexter actually pulls that off. So over here on the white Borgs, finishing up their conduction matrix. Be done here shortly, and we'll see what he ends up doing with this. This conduction matrix will very likely go into energy nodes level 1 very shortly. Hasn't hit it yet. Any second now he's probably out there scouting. Over here we can see that Abraxas is also finishing up his conduction matrix. And we see probes on the up and up. I am still not seeing energy nodes level 1. So a little bit of time lost. There's one from that guy. And let's see if Abraxas is caught up to that yet. Not quite yet. Down here, let's take a look at the Feddies. Feddies are setting up a ever increasingly popular put my star yard over my moon. This allows the miners a much shorter trip into the star yard for repair in case they are attacked. Gives them a little bit extra resiliency. It's a good thing. Let's see, the Borg have actually already expanded to their tritanium. Are we looking at... No, we're not looking at SM. We're looking at an optimize. Looking at an optimize. Scout cube there. Optimize. Oh, and this is pretty bad here. Abraxas is having no dilithium because, quite frankly, miners are stuck on something. So this is going to be... this little part here is going to kill him really shortly. He just will not have enough dilithium to move into the major production of warships. Now down here, Sutee is setting up Starfleet Command, and literally that is it. He has I count no warships on the floor. This is dangerous, but again, back up here, he's got this ability here to repair his yards if he gets a little bit of attack. The Borg are not going to have a lot of vessels out here. You can see that he's only got 2 ships out. The Borg up here, just now getting out their torpedo. They're photon torpedoes. Okay. I hear a little bit of transporter. Likely on... Okay, there's a scout. Over here we saw this guy take a couple of shots. Here comes some sayings, and so Dexter is going saying. So not a bad pull. This single Quebec to provide a little bit of defense against incomers, and you can see another one about to come out on the board. Sutee over here trying to get his expansion going, and we may see a little bit of combat here very shortly. This guy will not be able to do anything to this guy, so it's almost a waste. There's nothing that's going to prevent this guy from just jumping into repair, like you see right here. And now the scout cube is put into a bad position. Ooh, it actually should leave. It's never going to get that kill. It just can't do enough damage fast enough. It's time for this guy to get out of here. Otherwise, Charybde is in a lot of trouble. He is now half health. This guy is a photon torpedo scout cube. That means that its regenerative ability is actually severely limited. We won't see this guy up to full health for another 10 minutes, roughly speaking. And like most other stats, completely made up on the spot. So let's see what his teammate over here, Abraxas, is doing. Abraxas is getting another detector and a probe. Can't really see that he's going to have a heavy presence here. And this was the transporter that we heard earlier. Ooh, and I hear a warp in. They did steal the scouts, and looks like they want it back, but a little bit on the too late side. Quite frankly, they could take this if they wanted. If any one of these other guys drop their shields, it gives them a little bit of extra. Gives them that little extra. It's almost an attack, right? You get your opponent to drop their shields, but of course, Sutee is not going to do that with it on his ships. He's just going to do that with a building, and Abraxas is in trouble with his probe as it goes down. Take a look over here. The dodecahedron is taking out. Is it going to get that last shot? Oh, it does. It gets it in there. Down goes that Quebec. That's going to hurt. This dodecahedron is taking probably too much fire. Oh, and so is the scout cube. Pseudo-successful raid, losing only one ship, but the Borg, having lost none, would make that much less of a successful raid. And we see over here on this side, basically, Abraxas doing very, very similar strat as his teammate. Those teammates, Charybde has expanded. The Tritanium, his Tritanium stores here are a lot. Actually, he's got a lot of them. He needs to burn those off with something that is Tritanium costly. Some of the support style ship configurations would be good for that. Okay, so here we see Charybde bringing up a severely damaged scout cube, and he does see that. Looks like he's trying to keep it back, but this guy is just waiting to get killed. I mean, there's just nothing about this that is good here. Taking a little bit of needless damage on his ships. He is putting at risk this guy. You can see even the constructor is having fun with it. Now all that Dexter needs to do here is concentrate on that scout cube and get a kill here. Somehow they're auto-target, they're manually targeting, and so therefore they're not getting. Oh, they get an engine, but it was already into the queue. So lucky break for Dexter here. I really don't know why they're not taking out the scout cube. I know that they want that dodecahedron, but it's really. You can take so much firepower right off the board right now by doing a scout cube kill, and here it comes. And another constructor comes up to do it, and they get it out. Alright, so down here you can see some movement on the board as Sutee is moving up to support his teammate. And really what this does, if they can pincer these guys, into losing ships, that it would be Charybde. If they can make Charybde lose some ships, that'll really turn the tide in their favor. Now, the only thing he's got to worry about is Charybde's ally here is starting to get a few ships. You can see Sutee has covered this because you can see what's going on. He sees these 3 ships are moving up, and we hear a little bit of weapons fire. Don't know where. You can see that now Sutee is pulling back, and this scouting is exactly what he needed. He was moving up, and now he's moving back. Allows him. Allows that there's no surprise in his base. Nothing like making a successful raid and then come home and find that, you know, someone left the door open and you don't have your TV. Much less your starbase. You know, a 56-inch starbase is, you know, just something really, really crappy to lose. So in the meantime, taking stock of where we're at, Abraxas is still investing in scout cubes and probes. And at the moment, over here, Charybde is putting out his second dodecahedron. This is going to fairly effectively deter this bunch, just in the sense that they've got long range. They'll be able to knock things pretty decently. And if they get a couple subsystem kills, that'd be great. It does look like these are the 2x. Oh, I guess I'm wrong. This is regen, giving them a little bit more survivability. Oh, they do get a nice little intercept. Okay, so I'm not knowing how to read these guys at all. I thought these looked like intercept dodecahedrons. I'm just making stuff up at the moment. However, what I'm not making up is this one dodecahedron is in trouble, like really bad, and it is going to get away. What? Who lets that sort of thing get away? Don't let these sort of ships get away. Come on, you got to get that Borg kill. The Borg takes so much damage from losing a single ship. I mean, their entire fleet is a bunch of huge ships. If you can get a kill, don't split your fire. Just don't split your fire. And here, the dodecahedrons are playing a little bit loose, but they might as well go ahead and get a kill here. Oh, letting it go away. It finally looks like the Klingons are wising up to the fact that this dodecahedron was severely damaged, but it's time to go in. It's time to go in. They can get it, take a couple shots, and then be done with it. Sutee, in the meantime, somewhere pulled out an Intrepid. Looks like he's minorly investing in them. They would be very good against the medium range, but the dodecahedrons are going to mop up the floor with them. As the dodecahedrons hard counter Intrepids, but you can see that he hasn't invested too much in them. And the Warpin forcing a good mix of fleet. Somehow, Charybde has managed to save his 2 dodecahedrons. Now these 2 things here are just not going to be in play for a long time. So where is Charybde investing in? He's really hurting on dilithium, and I don't know where he's invested all of that in. He lost a couple scout cubes, and now his fleet is in a very sore position. Luckily, these guys are going to regen up here in the next 10 minutes if the Klingons don't do mass sayings. And why would they do mass sayings when that seems to work really well? So far, I think the bottom team here has kind of got this under wraps, unless I'm missing something. I think Sutee here is... I'm really not sure what he's doing with the Intrepids. They'll do great against the upcoming sphere, but no one's got a sphere yet. These scout cubes, they'll do pretty good against scout cubes, can keep up with them. But not really a whole lot of fighting going on here. Sutee moving into E2 production, and really this is sealing the deal. These guys here are not aggressive enough for what these players need. Dexter putting up a heavy weapons platform. It's a nice little turret, but a lot of investment that really can't move. It is really close to this guy, but I really don't think that the Borg had. They just don't have the firepower on the board to make this work. We see an adapter coming out shortly, new in the latest version of Fleet Ops. It has some fun abilities. It has a nice little bit of cloak detect. It has some fun adaption abilities. And we'll see what that is. Not that I'm going to be able to tell what it is. Nice little warp in. Wow, talk about the nebulas today. Do I count? That's like he got 2 off the first one. The Yo-Yo-Dine. You got a San Francisco. So San Francisco making its presence known heavily here. So if you want to scan something to death, by all means, it's all you, Sutee. A little bit of expansion still doing its expansion thing over here. A little bit of expansion thing doing its expansion thing over here. The Borg. Mining. Also mining here. And building stuff. So these guys really just hanging out, looking like they're having a nice little party. Really not, I don't know that they're even aware that this exists here in the middle. This middle forward base is actually a very strong position for Sutee here. That allows him a much better view of what's going on to the Borg base. The Borg's expansion here is not utilized, and so he's basically choking Abraxas off. The red minor investment into sayings is starting to come to fruition, and a 4th one out here shortly. And this guy is a little bit of transporter action going on, trying to steal back and successful. Whoops, looks like they missed it. Who's got who here? Oh, looks like they did get it. Yes, and so good old scout. One more scout back. Oh, and they almost actually got the Federation scout here, but Sutee is going to back that guy up, give him a little repair, investing in the Tri aspect of his mining. He's not really doing too bad for Tri. He could have almost not built that, saved the dilithium, and then used it for something else. In the meantime, the Borg are creeping up here with a nice little fleet. It's a small fleet, only 6 ships. By and large, this fleet should be able to get a couple kills and not lose anything. The E2s will do pretty decent here, providing some long-range fire. There's just nothing that these guys are going to take out. Oh, yeah. Yeah, bad idea for the Borg. You see that Intrepid took a lot of fire from the dodecahedrons. Oh, wow. These scout cubes are going to... Uh-oh. Sutee's not paying attention. Oh, he's going to lose a ship. How did that happen? Oh, he didn't lose a ship. How did that happen? Sutee somehow is getting pulled in. These dodecahedrons just shelling things. And back up here on the red and the white. Let's see if they got something going on. They haven't got it quite going on yet. This looks like a pure adaption. Nope, that's a regen. And torpedo. Am I reading that right? That's not even a That's nothing but a pure DPS. They're going after the heavy weapons platform. And the Klingons decloak. And you can see the Sings just start shelling things. Ouch. Oh, Charybde feeling the pain. As those Sings just slaughter him. In the meantime, nothing going on down here. Back up here. These guys barely get out of here. I'm wondering what energy nodes level this guy is. He's only sitting on 12. He must be only energy nodes level 1. He's going DPS and regen. I'm just confused at what the game plan is here. Some heavily damaged ships, so he's really only got like 2 ships here. So the Klingons are really putting a just a really heavy shelling onto the Borg here. And Sangs are not taking any losses here. This is really not looking to go in Charybde's favor, as his ships are just taking a pounding. And all the Klingons got to do is just make sure not to lose ships. Looks like they're doing less of not losing ships than they should be. You can see these Quebecs getting in there, trying to tango with stuff, taking some shots that they really didn't need to take. But to Dexter's credit, he has managed to cloak that guy out and get him away. And here comes Sutee with the cleanup crew. And this is bad for Charybde. Charybde is in trouble. Charybde is in a lot of trouble, losing all of his fleet. Doesn't have a lot of backup fleet. He's got some resources that he hasn't spent, and that's really kind of hurting him there. It is time to decom this and leave. Federation and the Klingon are going to be getting some experience here. They are going after this adapter, and that adapter takes it in the behind. And it is bad. Okay, so this really is firmly in the right-hand team's hands for this game. Sutee putting up a platform just to give himself a little bit of extra defense. And the Klingons are going to shell the Borg mining. Sit here, rank up. Oddly enough, didn't go after this one. I would expect it to have gone after that one. It would have been worth it. Could get that kill out. Looks like he's going to miss the chance there for a little bit. But really, Charybde has, by all means, given up here. You just don't see any... Okay, so here's a collective uplink. Some detectors and probes here. Well, I take that back. Some probes might help. But you're just not going to get the... numbers. Charybde is really in a hurting position. So his teammate Abraxas getting up a sphere. That's going to be good, but that's just going to this is just going to tear Charybde apart. Charybde is down and out here. His teammate is all by his lonesome. He's got one sphere out, but that sphere is going to do nothing. Looks like a prime region. There's the 30. Yep. And you can see here Sutee doing sort of a defensive, offensive platform turtling thing. I kind of like this one. His fleet is back out here, so he's putting himself a little bit of firepower here where he expects the Borg to come in. And come in they are looking to do. Still, nonetheless, it is a stationary platform, and the Borg could just... That sphere could literally just go around it. I wonder what sort of specials this guy's got, and he does have all of his specials, so he's got some lovely sensor blackout, and that's fun. You don't see that too often these days, but 35% off of someone's firepower, it's nothing to laugh at. Klingon's getting a little bit more experience, burning some more stuff down, and really this is the death knell for the White Borg. In the meantime, some ships on the way, and you can see that sensor blackout picking itself up, making itself useful. Ooh. Oh, an E2 not getting what it wanted. Taking a little bit too much damage, and the Borg are kind of getting a leg up here. They're managing to get kills. They're kind of sitting here on top of the entrance of this guy, trying to mess with the pathing, and boy, are they ever getting some good pathing hits here. By and large, a very successful raid here by Abraxas. He is taking a lot of damage. He needs to micro his ships a little bit better. The sphere needs to be the one taking the damage. Not that this is going to be a very long-lived raid, because now you can see the hammer dropping as the Federation fleets mosey on down into the main, which we know, at least Sutee knows, is completely unprotected. Oh, even a torpedo platform having itself a little ball here. Take a look at it's got a single stage. So these medium range, like spheres, will take extra damage. In the meantime, let's see the hammer dropping on the main. Oh, and another sphere going to get itself kablooied. And kablooied it goes down. Oh, it doesn't even get the resources back, unfortunately. And there is the GG. Well, folks, there you go. Two Borgs not able to pull it out. The Feds and the Klingons effectively working together to pull out the win here. Congratulations, everyone. Hope to see everyone on the flip side. See Animan signing off.